if you have Crohn's and you feel like your body is fighting a war nobody else can see, your genetics might literally be the reason. And a discovery published this week finally explains the mechanism. Hi, I'm Kate, and today we're talking about the NOD2 gene mutation and what it actually does inside your intestinal wall. This matters right now because for the first time, we have a clearer picture of why some patients do everything right and still spiral, and that changes the conversation you can have with your specialist. After my husband's third surgery, he was doing everything right phase, but he still ended up in the OR. And he asked me, why does my body keep attacking even when the medication is allegedly working? And my son pre-diagnosis, the pattern of flares that seemed to have no trigger that we could find. So what it felt like as a naturopath and a mum was there didn't seem to be a satisfactory answer to that question. Well, that was until now. So here's what we actually known for a while and what just got sharper. NOD2 is one of the most replicated genetic risk factors in Crohn's disease. It's present in a significant subset of patients. Some studies place carriership of at least one NOD2 variant at roughly 30 to 50% of Crohn's cases in Western populations, so 3 to 5 people out of 10. What the US San Diego AI-assisted research has now helped clarify, well, it's the actual specific mechanism. Not just that the variant exists, but that it disrupts the intestinal wall's ability to correctly read bacterial signals, which means the immune system never gets the stand down message. That is not a lifestyle failure, it's biological wiring, and understanding it is the same middle path between blaming yourself for every flare and giving up on everything that is still within your influence. So what does NOD2 actually do? Well, it's a pattern recognition receptor. It's supposed to read bacterial fragments and tell the immune system whether to respond or stand down. It's kind of like a security guard standing at a door and not being able to recognize any IDs. So it appears that everything coming is a threat. So where the mutation breaks the loop, it walks through and fails your body's ability to misread or underread, I guess it could. So the signals from your gut bacteria. So the inflammatory response fires, but the off switch doesn't engage reliably. So it's like an alarm is just stuck on and it can't be turned off. So biologics alone may not be enough. Biologics target downstream inflammation, TNF, IL-12, IL-23. But if the upstream sensing failure is still generating the signal, the system keeps re-triggering, which is why some patients feel like they're treading water, even on effective medication. So what does this mean for the supportive layer that we need around us? Well, because the gut microbiome is the source of the bacterial signals NOD2 is trying to read, the composition and diversity of that microbiome becomes even more clinically relevant for NOD2 variant patients. Definitely not as a cure, but as a way to reduce the noise the broken sensor is dealing with. So specific microbiome support is very important. And the questions that you can take to your GI is it worthwhile finding out my NOD status, or do we know what my NOD2 status actually is? And then how that information might shape decisions about treatment sequencing or monitoring frequency. So, you're just asking the question, do we know my NOD2 status? If they say no, say, is it worth testing so we do know and we can use that moving forward with treatment? So as you know, my husband now, 20 years flare-free, and my son is in deep remission. I think understanding the NOD2 situation and ensuring that the microbiome is as healthy as it can be has been a really big help in ensuring that and ensuring my son is in deep remission. You're also shifting yourself from self-blame to actually being strategic. So I want every one of you to know that it's not your fault. So if this video helped you finally put language to something you've been living with, why don't you share it with someone who needs it and drop your questions in the comments because I read them. Remember, I'm not substituting advice from your gastroenterologist. It's just a tool to help you have a better conversation with them. I'll see you next time. Have a beautiful day.